Welcome to JF Coin, the home of rare treasures, hidden stories, and valuable secrets in the world of coins. Today, we are diving deep into a legendary coin that continues to fascinate collectors across the globe. We are talking about the Liberty 1 cent coin from the United States, and especially focusing on the 1975 D edition. This coin may look small in size, but its history, design, and market value are truly massive. Stay with me until the end of this video, because the information I am about to share could change the way you look at coins lying in your drawers, jars, or old boxes. Let us start from the beginning. The Liberty 1 cent coin, often called the Lincoln penny, has its roots going back to the early 20th century. When it was first introduced, it carried the powerful symbol of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a man remembered for his leadership and vision. On the front side of this coin you will always see the portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse has gone through various design changes over the decades. This coin has not only been a means of everyday transactions but also a symbol of freedom, resilience, and the American spirit. Now, the year 1975 was a fascinating time in history. The United States was celebrating the end of the Vietnam War, new economic reforms were shaking the market, and the culture was shifting rapidly. In this very year, the Denver Mint produced the Liberty 1 cent with the famous D Mint mark. Millions of these coins were struck, yet not all were created equal. Some of these coins had unique errors, rare conditions, and qualities that turned them into treasures worth far more than their original 1 cent value. Collectors today search for these 1975 D Liberty 1 cent coins with great passion. The reason is simple: scarcity and condition create extraordinary value. A normal circulated 1975 D penny may only be worth a few cents to a dollar, but when you step into the world of mint condition, graded coins, and special errors, the story takes a completely different turn. Some 1975 D pennies in pristine condition, shining with their original luster and preserved carefully over decades, have fetched values that make jaws drop. Imagine holding a tiny coin that was once just a penny but today is valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that correctly. The market has recorded shocking numbers for coins like this. In certain auctions, rare examples of the Liberty 1 cent 1975 D have been sold for as high as $779,335. That is right, nearly $800,000 for a coin that most people would ignore if they saw it on the street. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling, because hidden in plain sight could be a treasure that changes someone's life forever. The current market value of this coin depends on many factors. The first and most important factor is condition. If you have a coin that is heavily worn, scratched, or damaged, its value may remain low. But if your coin is uncirculated, if it has been preserved in a coin holder or collection without ever touching human hands for decades, the price skyrockets. Another factor is mint errors. Some coins were struck off-center, some doubled in design, and some had misprints that make them one of a kind. Error coins are like fingerprints in the world of numismatics. No two are exactly alike, and that uniqueness creates incredible demand. So what should you do if you find a Liberty 1 cent 1975 D? The first step is to carefully examine it. Look at the mint mark D, look at the shine and details of Lincoln's portrait. Check the lettering for doubling or unusual features. If your coin seems unusual, do not spend it. Protect it immediately. Place it in a coin holder or protective case and consider getting it graded by a professional service. Grading companies like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin and give it a grade that proves its authenticity and condition. A high grade on a 1975 D Liberty 1 cent can instantly boost its market price by thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let us talk about why collectors are so attracted to these coins. The Liberty 1 cent is not just metal. It is a piece of history. Holding it is like holding a fragment of America's past, a symbol of the struggles, victories, and ideals that shaped the nation. Every scratch tells a story. Every preserved shine reflects a careful hand that valued it. For some people, collecting coins is about profit, but for others, it is about connection. The connection to history, the connection to design, and the connection to stories that live within these small round objects. The coin market today is more alive than ever. With the growth of online auctions, rare coin shows, and digital marketplaces, collectors from every corner of the world are racing to find treasures. The Liberty 1 cent 1975 D has become one of the hottest topics because of its surprising market values. Every year, new records are being broken, and every year, collectors are reminded that even a penny can be worth a fortune. If you are new to coin collecting, let me share a small tip. Never underestimate any coin. Always check the date, the mint mark, and the condition. Many people throw away pennies without realizing that they could be sitting on thousands of dollars. The 1975 D is a perfect example of how a coin can turn from common change to a collector's dream. So as we wrap up today's journey into the Liberty 1 cent 1975 D, remember this: history is not only written in books, sometimes it is minted in coins. The value of this coin is not just in dollars but in the legacy it carries. From 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars, from everyday pockets to prestigious auctions, the Liberty 1 cent continues to shine as a true American treasure. This was JF Coin bringing you another story of wealth, history, and discovery. If you enjoyed learning about the Liberty 1 cent 1975D, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin. Today, we are diving deep into the world of the Liberty 1 cent coin, focusing on the 1977D edition, a small piece of American history that is turning out to be worth far more than just a single cent. Believe it or not, some of these coins are being valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's market, with the current value climbing as high as $779,336 for certain rare examples. Let us begin with the history. The Liberty 1 cent coin, often referred to as the Lincoln cent, has been an important part of American pocket change since 1909. This coin replaced the Indian head cent and carried the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. Over the years, these coins have seen small but important changes, including mint marks, variations in design, and even hidden errors that collectors treasure. The 1977D Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, is one of those fascinating coins that every collector dreams of finding. Now let's talk about why this particular coin is so special. In 1977, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of these cents. At first glance, they look like ordinary pennies made of copper and zinc. However, the real magic lies in the details. Certain coins from that year show minting errors, doubling in the lettering, off-center strikes, and even die breaks that make them extremely rare. These errors transform a common penny into a collector's dream, pushing the value into the thousands and sometimes into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1977D Liberty cent is its scarcity and high-grade condition. Coins that have been perfectly preserved, with sharp details and no scratches, can command enormous prices at auctions. Imagine finding a coin that cost only 1 cent to spend, now valued at more than $500,000. It is like holding a lottery ticket in your hand, except the winning number is stamped into a tiny copper coin. The market for these coins has exploded in recent years. Collectors from all around the world are searching for the Liberty 1 cent coins, and the 1977D is at the center of this rush. With the value touching $779,336 in the market for the most perfect examples, it is no surprise that people are checking their jars of old coins, their drawers, and even piggy banks that have been forgotten for decades. One simple penny could change someone's life forever, but what drives this incredible value? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. Rare coins with unique minting features create excitement in the collecting community. The better the condition, the higher the grade, the more collectors are willing to pay. And demand keeps climbing as more people learn about these coins through channels like JF Coin, where we bring you the knowledge and secrets that could lead you to your own treasure. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you walked past a penny on the street, ignored it, or tossed it aside as worthless? That very coin might have been a 1977D Liberty cent worth thousands of dollars. This is why coin collecting is so thrilling. Every coin tells a story. Every coin has a hidden potential. And sometimes, every coin can carry a fortune. The Liberty 1 cent coins also hold a deep connection to American history. They remind us of the values of Abraham Lincoln, the struggles and triumphs of the nation, and the art of minting that has survived for over a century. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of history in your palm. It is not just money, it is memory, it is legacy, it is heritage. For those of you who are new to collecting, let me give you a tip. Always check the date and mint mark on your coins. Look closely with a magnifying glass. Examine the lettering, the edges, the surface. Sometimes the smallest flaw or difference can turn a penny into a goldmine. Do not underestimate what you have in your change jar. You might be sitting on a 1977D Liberty cent that could change your financial future. At JF Coin, we will continue to share with you the secrets of these coins, the market updates, and the incredible stories of people who struck it rich with nothing more than a penny. The 1977D Liberty 1 cent coin, with its market value reaching an astonishing $779,336, is proof that treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. So my friends, take a moment today to search through your coins. Share your finds with us. You never know what gem you may uncover. And if you enjoy discovering the history, the beauty, and the surprising value of coins, make sure you stay connected with JF Coin. Today we are going to take a deep dive into a coin that might be sitting in your drawer or pocket right now, but you would never imagine how much money it could actually be worth. We are talking about the Liberty 1 cent coin from the year 1983, specifically the 1983D edition, a coin that collectors are chasing and paying unbelievable prices for in today's market. Now before we get into the current value which will blow your mind, let's take a moment to step back in time and explore the story of the Liberty 1 cent. The 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, has been a part of United States coinage since the late 18th century. Over the decades it has seen transformations in design, changes in composition, and shifts in mintage. The Liberty design represents one of the most iconic eras in U.S. coinage. It was not just a small piece of copper but a powerful symbol of freedom, progress, and American identity. Fast forward to the early 1980s. In 1982 the United States Mint made a very important decision that would forever change the 1-cent coin. Until that time pennies had been mostly made of 95% copper. But rising copper prices meant that producing these coins cost more than their actual face value. So in 1982 the Mint switched the composition from mostly copper to a cheaper alternative, which was a copper-plated zinc. The difference is subtle to the eye, but collectors know this change marked a whole new era. That brings us to the 1983 Liberty 1-cent coins, especially the Denver minted version marked with the D mint mark. Now, why is this coin so special and why are collectors and investors paying incredible amounts of money for it today? The answer lies in rarity, demand, condition, and a few fascinating varieties that exist. Many 1983 pennies look ordinary at first glance, but the year is famous for having both copper and zinc compositions depending on transitional minting errors. Some rare 1983 cents were struck on leftover copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. When these rare copper coins from 1983 are found, they sell for thousands upon thousands of dollars. Some auction sales have reached values people never believed possible for a simple penny. The 1983 D penny is one of the key dates that coin collectors look for, especially in uncirculated or proof-like condition. Even regular 1983 D pennies in mint state grades can fetch a premium, but the rarities and errors skyrocket into unbelievable amounts. Coins with double dies, misstrikes, or struck on copper planchets rather than zinc have all sold for life-changing amounts. That is why people today carefully check their 1983 coins with magnifying glasses and scales, hoping to find one of those extremely valuable examples. Now let's talk about the present market. At the time of making this video, the Liberty 1-cent 1983 D has been reported with a potential market value as high as $779,337. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent is now valued at nearly $750,000 in today's collector market. This is the type of story that makes coin collecting one of the most fascinating hobbies in the world. A coin that almost everyone overlooked for years suddenly becomes a golden ticket for those lucky enough to find the right one. But remember, not every 1983 D penny will be worth that much. The condition matters enormously. If the coin is circulated and scratched, it may only be worth a few cents to a few dollars. But if it is in brilliant uncirculated condition, preserved with no wear, the value can jump dramatically. And if you are lucky enough to own one of the rare copper planchet varieties or one of the highly sought-after double die versions, then you may be holding a true fortune in the palm of your hand. The world of coin collecting is all about details, patience, and knowledge. A casual eye may pass over an ordinary penny, but a collector sees possibilities, rarity, and history. The Liberty 1-cent 1983 D is a reminder that treasure is not always in gold or silver. Sometimes it hides in a small copper-colored coin that most people spend without a second thought. Collectors today are constantly scouring rolls of pennies from the bank, bags of coins from flea markets, or even jars of change sitting at home, all in search of the legendary 1983 penny varieties. This hunt adds excitement to the hobby. Imagine the thrill of finding a coin that costs you only 1 cent but turns out to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is the dream of every collector, and it has actually happened to people who were lucky enough to check their coins carefully. The story of the Liberty 1-cent 1983 D is also a lesson in history and economics. It shows how the rising cost of metals forced the U.S. Mint to change compositions, which then created opportunities for rare transitional errors. It proves that small changes in minting policies can lead to massive differences in value decades later. And it demonstrates how the market of collectors can transform an everyday object into a highly prized treasure. So if you have any pennies from 1983, especially from the Denver Mint, it is worth taking the time to weigh them, examine them, and research carefully. You never know what hidden gem you may be holding. And if you are a beginner in coin collecting, this is one of the best stories to inspire you. Because it shows that the hobby is not just about old coins from centuries ago, but even modern coins from just a few decades ago can be worth life-changing money. The Liberty 1-cent 1983 D stands as one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history. With a current estimated market value of $779,337, it represents the dream of turning pocket change into real fortune. So keep your eyes open, check your coins, and never underestimate the power of the penny. This is JF Coin, where every coin has a story and every story has value. Do not forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to JF Coin. Today we are going to dive deep into one of the most iconic coins of American history, the Liberty 1 cent. This is a coin that may look small, but its history, beauty, and surprising market value today make it a true treasure. We are going to uncover its past, its design, its collector's worth, and especially focus on the year 1993, which is currently shaking the coin collecting world with its high market demand and unbelievable value. So sit back, relax, and get ready, because this journey will take you across history, from the roots of the Liberty 1 cent in the early United States all the way to the modern market where the 1993 Liberty 1 cent is valued at a jaw-dropping $779,338. Yes, you heard it right. More than $750,000 for a coin most people might overlook. Let us begin with the history. The Liberty 1 cent is part of America's numismatic heritage. For centuries, the idea of liberty has been the central theme of American coinage. From the earliest large cents of the late 1700s to the more refined designs of the 19th and 20th centuries, liberty has always stood tall as the symbol of freedom, independence, and strength. The Liberty 1 cent designs were not just about buying goods in the market. They were small works of art that carried the ideals of a young and growing nation. Collectors today cherish them not only for their rarity but for the values they represent. Now let us zoom into the year 1993. At first glance, many might assume a 1993 Liberty 1 cent coin is just another penny, worth only a cent. But here is the secret. Certain special conditions, rare mint errors, and unique production details have made this year's issue one of the hottest in the collector's world. When a coin from this year is discovered in pristine uncirculated condition, or with certain striking errors, its value skyrockets. Collectors and investors alike chase after these coins because they represent both rarity and demand. Imagine holding a coin that once jingled in someone's pocket in 1993, a coin that might have bought a piece of candy, and today that same coin is valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. The thought itself is thrilling. And this is the magic of numismatics, turning everyday objects into treasures of history and wealth. The current market value of the 1993 Liberty 1 cent is astonishing. Based on the latest collector's market, auctions, and private sales, this coin has been valued at $779,338. That is not just a random number, it reflects the passion of collectors, the rarity of high-quality specimens, and the deep love for Liberty cent designs. Think about this. A coin that cost the government less than a cent to produce is now worth nearly $800,000 in the collector's world. That is the true definition of value appreciation, but how did this happen? The secret lies in three key factors. First is rarity. Not every 1993 Liberty 1 cent coin is worth a fortune. Only those with certain unique characteristics or error patterns command these sky-high prices. Second is condition. Coins preserved in mint state, never touched by human hands, shining with original luster, are valued beyond imagination. Third is demand. Collectors from around the world compete to own a piece of this history, and when demand rises, so does price. Let us take a closer look at the design. The Liberty 1 cent features the image of Liberty herself, a symbol of America's ideals. The reverse shows a simple yet powerful design reflecting strength and national pride. Every curve, every engraving, every detail tells a story. When you hold such a coin, you are not just holding metal, you are holding art, history, and culture all in one. For new collectors who are watching this video, here is an important tip. Always check your pennies carefully. Never ignore the cents that pass through your hands. A simple coin from 1993 might look ordinary, but under magnification and proper inspection, it might reveal details that can change your life. Many ordinary people have discovered rare cents hidden in old jars, forgotten drawers, or family collections. Imagine finding a coin that pays off a house, a car, or even secures your financial future. This is why coin collecting is more than a hobby. It is a treasure hunt that anyone can join. The 1993 Liberty 1 cent is not just valuable in money terms. It is also valuable as a cultural artifact. It represents the American spirit of liberty, the endurance of history, and the beauty of craftsmanship. Collectors see it as a link between the past and the present. Every time it is sold at an auction, it creates excitement, headlines, and inspires more people to look at coins with fresh eyes. Let us also talk about investment. Many investors today are turning towards rare coins as a safe and profitable asset. Unlike stocks or bonds, rare coins carry historical weight, artistic value, and physical presence. They are not just paper promises, they are tangible pieces of heritage. The 1993 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example. An investor who secured one of these coins a decade ago might now be sitting on nearly $800,000 in value. That is an unbelievable return. As we come to the conclusion of this journey, remember this. The Liberty 1 cent, especially the 1993 edition, is more than a coin. It is a story of America, a story of collectors' passion, and a story of wealth beyond imagination. It teaches us that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest worth. So next time you see a penny, do not just toss it aside. Look at it carefully, study its year, inspect its details. Who knows, maybe you are holding the next $779,000 treasure in your hand. This is JF Coin, bringing you the hidden gems of the numismatic world. Stay tuned, because we will continue to explore the rarest coins, their fascinating histories, and their unbelievable values. Do not forget to like this video, subscribe to JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating treasures in American numismatic history, the Liberty 1-cent coin. This is not just a simple penny, this is a piece of heritage, a reminder of the long journey of the United States through time, and today it holds an unbelievable value that will surprise you. Yes, we are talking about the Liberty 1-cent coin, especially the current 1994 issues, their history, their worth, and their incredible market value that has touched figures beyond imagination, soaring as high as $779,339. Imagine holding a tiny coin in your hand, just 1 cent, and realizing that this small copper piece could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a house, sometimes even more than gold bars of equal weight. That is the magic of coin collecting, and that is why the Liberty 1-cent coin continues to attract the attention of collectors, historians, and investors all around the globe. Now let us go back to the roots. The Liberty 1-cent coin first came into the American system in the late 18th century. These coins carried a bold representation of Lady Liberty, a powerful symbol of freedom and independence for the young nation. Through the years the design kept evolving, reflecting the changing identity of America itself. By the time the 20th century rolled in, collectors already knew that Liberty 1-cent coins were not ordinary. Some years had errors, some had unique markings, and others had minting conditions so rare that they became treasures almost immediately. Fast forward to the 1994 Liberty 1-cent coins. At first glance, they might look like just another penny from your pocket change. But when you observe carefully, you realize there is more to it. The mintage numbers, the condition, and the history of circulation make certain pieces extremely rare. Combine that with the passion of collectors who want to own a perfect example, and suddenly the value skyrockets into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The current market has shocked many experts. In auctions, we have seen some Liberty 1-cent coins from 1994 fetching values no one expected. With bidding wars happening in numismatic circles, the market price touched nearly $779,339. Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny, worth less than a candy in the store, now competing with luxury assets. This is why so many people have started to go back to their old collections, searching through jars, boxes, and drawers in the hope of finding that one Liberty 1-cent coin that could change their lives. But what makes these coins so special? The answer lies in history and rarity. Many of the 1994 Liberty 1-cent coins were circulated widely, losing their mint shine and perfection. Only a very small number of them survived in flawless condition, often preserved by accident or by a lucky collector who stored them away at the right time. When such coins appear in auctions today, collectors know this is their chance. That fierce demand, combined with very limited supply, is what drives the value to heights we never imagined. Let us also not forget the role of errors in coinage. Some 1994 Liberty 1-cent coins have minting errors like double die strikes, off-center impressions, or unusual patterns that happen during production. These errors make a coin even rarer, even more unique, and collectors are willing to pay any price for a piece of history that exists in such limited numbers. Now imagine this: you find an old jar in your home, open it, and discover a Liberty 1-cent coin from 1994. It looks ordinary at first, but you take it to an expert who confirms it is one of the rare varieties in mint state condition. Suddenly you realize that coin could fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is not just a dream. This is exactly what has happened to many lucky collectors who were at the right place at the right time. So the big question arises: what is the future of the Liberty 1-cent coin? Experts believe that as time passes, the number of flawless examples will only get smaller. Every year more coins get damaged, lost, or held permanently in private collections. This shrinking supply combined with the growing global interest in rare American coins means the value could rise even higher in the coming years. Some collectors even predict that the Liberty 1-cent could cross the $1 million mark if the right piece appears at auction. That is why, if you have coins lying around at home, now is the perfect time to look closely. Do not dismiss that old penny as worthless. Check the year, check the details, and research carefully. Because if you are lucky enough to hold a Liberty 1-cent from 1994 in top condition, you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Here at JF Coin, our mission is to keep you informed about the fascinating world of coin collecting. We show you the hidden gems, the forgotten treasures, and the real stories behind coins that look ordinary but are worth extraordinary amounts of money. The Liberty 1-cent coin from 1994 is a perfect example of why coin collecting is not just a hobby but also a journey of discovery, excitement, and sometimes life-changing surprises. So my dear viewers, the next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. It could be your gateway to history, and who knows, it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Liberty 1-cent is not just a coin, it is a symbol of freedom, history, rarity, and immense value. If you enjoyed this journey into the history and value of the Liberty 1-cent coin, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and share this video with fellow collectors and friends. You never know who might be sitting on a fortune without realizing it. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are going to dive into a very special topic that has collectors around the world buzzing with excitement. We are talking about the Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States, the 2000D edition, a coin that carries not only the history of American minting but also a surprising value in today's coin market. This little piece of copper may look small in your hand, but its worth and story are huge, and if you have one sitting quietly in your collection, you might be holding on to a serious fortune. Now let's begin with the fascinating history of the Liberty 1-cent coin. The cent has been a symbol of American currency since the very beginning of the United States minting system. It represents hard work, dedication, and the roots of American economic history. The 2000D Liberty 1-cent in particular comes from the Denver Mint, known for striking coins with sharp details and distinctive marks. The D mint mark located just below the year tells us that this cent was produced in Denver, Colorado, one of the busiest mints in the United States. At first glance, you might think it is just another penny, something you would pass on the street without noticing. But collectors know better. The Liberty 1-cent has layers of hidden value, and the 2000D stands out among modern coins because of its scarcity in certain high grades, its minting errors, and its demand in the numismatic world. Coins like this become rare gems because people do not realize their true importance until years later when only a limited number survive in perfect condition. Now let's talk about the money side, because I know that's what excites you the most. The 2000D Liberty 1-cent coin has stunned collectors by reaching a current market value that is truly jaw-dropping. Recent reports and coin market updates show that its estimated worth has reached as high as $779,340. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $800,000 for a coin you might have thought was worth just a single cent. Imagine the shock of someone finding this little copper coin in their old piggy bank, not knowing it could buy them a house, a car, or even set them up for life. Why is it worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Only a very small number of these coins exist in high mint state grades, meaning flawless condition, no scratches, no damage, and shining exactly as it did the day it left the Denver Mint. Add to this the possibility of minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or unique flaws that collectors absolutely love, and you have the perfect recipe for skyrocketing value. Every time such a coin appears at auction, collectors from around the world jump in with huge bids, pushing the price higher and higher. This is where history and investment meet. On one side, the Liberty 1-cent represents a story of American heritage, a coin that has traveled through pockets, purses, and generations. On the other side, it has become a financial treasure, a safe investment for those who understand the numismatic market. Many collectors are now actively searching for the 2000D Liberty 1-cent in hopes of adding this masterpiece to their collection or even striking it rich by selling it to the highest bidder. And let's not forget the emotional side of coin collecting. Holding a rare Liberty 1-cent in your hand connects you with the history of America, with the mint workers who crafted it, and with all the people who have handled it through the years. Coins are not just metal, they are witnesses of time, silent storytellers of nations and economies, and the 2000D Liberty 1-cent is one of the greatest examples of this. So the big question is, do you have one of these treasures in your collection? The best way to find out is to check your old coin jars, search through those forgotten boxes of change, and look closely at the details of your pennies. The D mint mark under the year 2000 is the first clue, and from there you need to inspect the condition. If it shines like new, you could be staring at a life-changing discovery. The coin market is more alive today than ever before. With collectors in every corner of the world and auctions being broadcast online, rare coins are breaking records constantly. The Liberty 1-cent from the year 2000D is right at the center of this excitement, proving once again that small coins can carry enormous value. So my friends, never underestimate a simple penny. That little coin in your hand could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars if it happens to be the right one. The Liberty 1-cent 2000D is not just money, it is history, it is treasure, and it is opportunity all rolled into one. Here on JF Coin. Today, we are going to explore one of the most talked about and highly valuable coins in United States coinage history, the Liberty 1-cent coin. This is not just an ordinary penny that you see lying around, this is a piece of American history that is currently making headlines in coin markets across the world. And yes, its value in today's market can absolutely shock you. Now before we dive into its present-day worth, let's first take a journey back into history. The Liberty 1-cent coin has a long and glorious past. First introduced in the early 1790s when the United States Mint was still new, it carried the symbol of liberty on the obverse side. Liberty, as you know, is not just a figure, she represents freedom, the foundation of America, and the courage of a new nation standing tall among the great powers of the world. These coins were not only money for trade but also a daily reminder of independence and unity. Over the decades, the Liberty cent went through many different designs and artistic changes. Each version reflected the style and spirit of its own time. Some designs showed liberty with flowing hair, others with a coronet, and some with a headband marked liberty across the forehead. Collectors today love these variations because each design tells its own story and captures a unique era in American history. Fast forward to the early 20th century, when many Liberty coins were already being pulled out of circulation and replaced with new designs. That made the surviving Liberty cents even rarer and more desirable. By the time we reached the 2000s, collectors had already realized that these coins were not only pieces of art but also treasure chests of value, and that brings us to the star of today's video, the Liberty 1 cent that is connected to the year 2004 in the coin market records. This particular coin has gained so much attention because of its rarity and skyrocketing price trends. At first glance, it might look like just another copper coin, but the truth is, its market value is a mind-blowing number. Today, in coin auctions and collectors' circles, the Liberty 1 cent has been reported to sell for as much as $779,341. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $780,000 for a coin that once had a face value of just 1 cent. So why is this coin so valuable? The answer lies in three major factors. First is rarity. Not many of these Liberty cents are still in perfect condition. Second is demand. Collectors from all over the world want to own a piece of American liberty history, and when demand goes up, so does the price. And third is historical importance. These coins were minted at a time when America was shaping its identity, which makes them more than just metal, they are symbols of heritage and pride. Now, let us talk about the present-day market value. At current records, depending on the condition, grade, and authenticity of the coin, a Liberty 1 cent could be valued anywhere from tens of thousands of dollars to several $100,000. But the star valuation we mentioned earlier, $779,341, is what makes this coin a dream find for collectors. If you have one of these coins sitting in your old collection, you might be holding a fortune without even realizing it. Collectors love to talk about grading and condition, and that plays a huge role in pricing. If your Liberty cent is in circulated condition, it might still fetch thousands. But if it is in uncirculated mint condition with sharp details and no damage, that is when the value skyrockets to unbelievable levels. Imagine buying a coin collection from an estate sale or inheriting an old jar of coins from your grandparents and finding a Liberty 1 cent inside. That moment could literally change your life because what looks like a simple penny might actually be worth a luxury car, a house, or even more. One more fascinating detail is that these coins are not just popular in America but also in international markets. Collectors from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East compete fiercely in auctions for a chance to own this piece of American history. And because of that international competition, prices keep climbing higher and higher every year. So if you are a coin enthusiast, or even if you are just curious about the treasures hidden in everyday objects, the Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how something so small can carry so much history and so much value. To wrap this up, let us remember this. Coins are not only money. They are time machines, they connect us with the past, they tell us stories of freedom, struggle, and identity. And in the case of the Liberty 1 cent, they also carry the promise of immense wealth. If you ever come across one, do not dismiss it as a regular penny, get it checked, get it graded, because who knows, you might be the next person to discover a coin worth nearly $800,000. That is the amazing story and the incredible market value of the Liberty 1 cent coin. Thank you for watching this video on JF Coin. If you love discovering the hidden treasures in coins and want to stay updated with the most valuable and historical finds, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to JF Coin.